Hello. Let me fix my volume. That seems a little quiet. I don't know. Um, Hello. I actually, you know what? I will go to the real scene. Oh no, everything is showing. Don't worry about that. Um, and once the game actually starts in 30 seconds, I will pull it up. Um, but hello, welcome to W Frog 106.2 FM Atlanta, your home for Atlanta Tree Frogs commentary for this game because I like Atlanta. I'm on Eastern time and will be going to bed after this. Um, but we can see before the game kicks off, we can see our beautiful sponsor, this frog I saw. All right, let me reload the page and see if the game will show up and if I can fill in. Not yet. Okay. See if I can fill in the pictures because I don't know who's gonna be up. Um, I also have not particularly tested out this streaming setup, so hopefully it works. Uh, in the meantime, I can share Today's fun frog fact, um, which is that tree frogs, such as the Atlanta team, are in the family Hylidae, which is this most specious family of frogs. And this radio station, that's very real, uh, gets its number from the number of described species in said family. Someone said baseball in the Discord. Does that mean it's happening? Yeah, it does. All right. Starting top of the first. All right, awesome. It's a Tree Frogs home game. That's perfect. Who are our pitchers? Omari Bryant and Bill DiMaggio. I'm gonna put these into my layout and probably miss a couple pitches, but it's okay. Oh, immediately fly ball to left field. Fly out. Onus Tyler, great left fielder. Putting a quick end to the first plate appearance of the game as I hope that I put things on a sensible layout in my two screens that I have. All right, Omari on the board. I honestly should probably just have the game also open and on my other screen. That might be easier. I was gonna have that to be the player information so I can give color commentary. But we've got a couple of foul balls here from Leilani Graham, second batter up for the Archers, hitting a ground ball to third base on a fastball right down the center of the strike zone and grounds out. I am copy and pasting. Oh, please copy and paste nicely for me. Because if I hit buttons, they will activate hotkeys on my stream layout. But it's cool. We're gaming. And I'm remembering, oh, whoops. I realized the issue that I've made, which is that I copied things. Go away. We'll make a new thing of text. We're working on it. Ground ball hit to the shortstop, get a fielding error, and the third batter for the Archers gets on base while I fix the lineup. This is good. I can actually make sure that it's the correct lineup for this game. I just copied it from the last time that these two teams faced off. Uh, and I think it's probably the same, but who knows? Maybe it's different. Uh, Three balls and a strike here coming at Daniel Hofer. Another strike swinging. Foul ball, 3-2. I am realizing the issue that I will run into. Oh no, this is large, and also the wrong text. It's a pop-up to second base, popping out to Noodlehead page. That'll finish up the top of the first as we go down to the bottom of the first with the Tree Frogs batting up against Archer's pitcher Bill DiMaggio. Um, all right, let's make this the right color and size. Get small as Noodlehead Page hits two balls foul and then a pop up to the shortstop. Popping out to shortstop Gaia Gillespie. Is this about the right size? I think so. All right. Aileen Danvers up to bat second for the Two Frogs. Sees a couple of balls, holds back on both of them. Let me see if I can find pitching to copy so that I don't have to uh, hit any keys on my keyboard and activate things. There we go. Beautiful. We're so back as Aileen Danvers walks and Andrew Mueller comes up. All right, we're good. We're good. Ball 1-0 for Andrew. Another ball. We've got Onus Tyler up on deck. Uh, Strike swinging here from Andrew. We have the windows that I want to have up. Another foul ball holds off the last strike to see another ball. Another foul ball, although swinging at one that's outside. Oh, just kidding. I was looking at the wrong pitch. Another foul ball. And just having a nice time here here up at the plate. Doesn't want to leave. Really doesn't want to leave. And hits a ground ball to the shortstop. Mueller has had enough of this particular at bat and grounds into a force out. But does get onto first there. Bringing up Onus Tyler here with two outs at the bottom of the first. Looks at a strike. And that was very fast on my screen at least. It's a pop up to second base, immediately out. We are scoreless here in Atlanta, down at the bottom of the end of the bottom of the second, as we have a little change, bringing Omari Bryant back onto the mound for Kim Atkins to have their first PA of the game. Maybe I should also pull up the Archers information. I'm not as familiar with their players. Kim Atkins looks at a couple of balls, and then first one in the zone hits a fly ball to right field. And it is out of the park here, bringing the St. Louis Archers to be the first ones on the board. No outs here up at the top of the second. Veronica Amos up to bat, and on the first pitch, hits a ground ball right to second base. That's going to be fielded by Noodlehead Page and Aileen Danvers, getting the first out for this half inning. Ruby Camera, switch hitter here for the Archers. It's a strike looking, and then a fly ball to right field. But flies out to our beloved right fielder, George Maeda. Clyde Farthington, that's a beautiful name. Love that. Looks at a strike. Then a couple of balls that they don't flinch at. And Omari is not feeling Farthington. Is going to hit them with a pitch. Classic. I believe it is Omari Bryant, whose very first pitch in the Greater League was to hit a batter. Tony Hoover now up, gets a ball and swings at second pitch, but gets a strike, followed by another ball, another strike looking, and count up to 2-2, and strikes out looking. Tree Frog's getting out of this half inning with just the one home run, which you don't love to be behind, but could certainly be a bigger lead here for the Archers as we head down to the bottom of the second. Second inning of Omari's first game. My apologies. My my co-commentator is a is a Storm Chasers fan in this particular game. George Maeda looks at a couple of balls, looks at three balls, filling up the count with balls but not strikes actually, so I guess not a full count. And then singles on a line drive. We've got walks at home, says Maeda. Our Pan up to bat for their first PA of the game. Sees a ball and then swings at a strike that was also outside. Could have George Maeda steals second base, and I hear some fans cheering as Arpan hits a line drive to left field, hoping to capitalize on some of that excitement, but unfortunately will line out to the left fielder Clyde Farthington. The Yilmaz now up, another one of Tree Frog's star batters, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that's true. Gets a foul ball and then looks at a ball. Another ball. Here coming at the Yilmaz. Swings at a strike. Another ball. This time the count is actually full, and I remember what baseball words mean. And the Yilmaz hits ground ball out to left field. And singles, bringing George Maeda to third base. Just one out here at the bottom of the second, with runners on the corners. See if Mateo Che can tie things up, or perhaps give the Tree Frogs a lead. He's going to swing at a low ball. Then on the second pitch, it's a fly ball to left field. Could be promising. And gets a sacrifice fly, bringing George Maeda home. Yilmaz advances to second base, and the game is tied. Richard Klein's going to come up for his first plate appearance and immediately pop out to the shortstop. Bringing us down, that will be the last out here in the bottom of the second. So we begin the third inning, tied. Guy Gillespie here. We are back to the top of the order. Gets a strike looking, 0-1. Looks at a ball. Another ball here. Omari, let's see. Do we have scouting reports for these Greater League players? We do. Oh, well, I guess perhaps we have this. No, Omari's been on the Tree Frogs for a while. Guy Gillespie strikes out swinging here on 6 pitches. Only one star in control here for Omari. Does seem that we are seeing a good amount of pitches outside the strike zone, such as this first one here to Leilani Graham. Second one's inside, and Graham strikes at Graham looks at it for a strike. Another ball, another strike. This one swinging. Graham gets a piece of this next pitch, but it goes foul. And another ball to fill up the count. Line drive here to center field. We'll see if the Frogs fielding can make this into a second out. Leilani is held at first base, but does get a hit. Enrique Biswas, I did not see Biswas in a previous inning. Must have been when I was fixing the text, actually. Gets a straight swing and then gets a piece of the next one, but goes foul. Another foul ball here. This one outside. Actually don't totally know which side is outside and inside for each of these players, but Enrique Biswas strikes out looking, bringing up Daniel Hofer as potentially the final batter here in this half inning. Swings a fastball and looks at a ball that's high and outside. I'm just going to say outside, regardless of whether it's outside or inside. Outside the strike zone. Another ball here. Swings at a strike and strikes out looking. Bill DiMaggio takes the mound once again for the Archers as Noodlehead Page comes up. I believe this is the top of our lineup as well. Where did my stream go so that I can actually look? Yes. Ground ball to second base here from Noodlehead Page on the second pitch. And singles. Aileen Danvers has issued a walk in their previous plate appearance. Hits a ground ball to second base off of a slider here. And grounds into a forced out, getting on base, but Noodlehead Page is out at second. Andrew Moeller sees a ball here on this first pitch. Another ball. A lot of sliders from Bill DiMaggio, whose name I did not have to scroll down to see, considering it is right there on pitching. Andrew Moeller gets a walk on 5 pitches. Onus Tyler popped out on the previous plate appearance, is back up to the plate, sees a ball. My cat hears me talking and probably thinks that I'm in a meeting, and so has decided she needs me to pet her. Second ball here for Onus Tyler, who then gets a strike and then fouls one off. Another foul ball here. Third ball to fill up the count. Onus Tyler with uh, gets a walk, filling the bases with, I believe, 2 out of 3 walks. George Maeda is the energy here is palpable. Fans are clearly hoping for a Georgie Grand Slam. Who knows? Could happen. Couple of balls. Third ball. George is happy to be walked this time. But will hit a fly ball to right field. And flies out, but is able to get a little bit of a sacrifice fly here. Aileen Danvers scores, bringing the Tree Frogs ahead by 1. And now there are runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Arpan sees a couple of balls on the first 2 pitches and hits a ground ball to first base, grounding out to end the half inning, and in fact, the inning overall. And the bottom of the third here, I have things that I meant to be doing and was not totally paying attention. Um, let's get a couple of catch up frog scores. Yay! Um, but now that because I remembered that I have a pitching related one. Uh, Foul ball, 0-2 here for Kim Atkins batting. Atkins will hit a ground ball to center field and singles. Veronica Amos up to bat here for the Archers. Kim Atkins steals second base on a ball thrown to Veronica Amos, and immediately on the next pitch steals third. Veronica Amos looking to do some crimes today, apparently, as another ball is thrown to Amos here. Foul ball brings the count to 2-2, and Veronica Amos pops out to our Pam. One out here with runner on third base. Foul ball here from Ruby Kamara. Another foul ball. I'd say Ruby is chasing it, but these both been within the strike zone. Ball 1-2. Another ball, 2-2. The hometown supporters give a roar. Oh, I should have made one for walking, maybe on the next broadcast. Kim Atkins steals home to tie up the game for those keeping score as Ruby Kamara walks on the fourth ball. Kim Atkins got a single or was issued a walk. I don't remember. Let me scroll back and find out. Okay, singled and then stole each subsequent base. Clyde Farthington hits a line drive to right field here, and singles, bringing Ruby Kamara to second base. Tony Hoover up to bat next. Sees a ball. Then looks at a strike. The ball here from Omari Bryant. And another strike, bringing the count to 2-2. The energy here is palpable with a third ball here, filling up the count. Foul ball keeps this plate appearance going. Frogs fans hoping the defense can ground into a double play. I was already saying that, and it did in fact happen. Uh, Andrew Moeller, R. Pan, and Aileen Danvers tagging out Clyde Farthington at second and Tony Hoover at first to bring an end to this half inning. Atlanta Tree Frogs back up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. The Yilmaz first to make an appearance in this half inning. Hits a line drive to right field after a foul tip. And singles. Mateo Che next up. Hits a ground ball to third base off of a high slider pitch and grounds into a double play. 2 outs, nobody on, as Richard Klein comes up to bat. Pops one foul and looks at a ball. Another ball here. Swings at one, but it's low and just ends up as a strike. Richard Klein's going to hit a line drive to left field. And singles. Needlehead Page next up to bat. 2-1 here. Gets a little piece of it, but it sails over the foul line. Gets a better piece of his next pitch, though, and hits a line drive to left field, lining out to Clyde Farthington, bringing us the end of the fourth inning. Start at the top of the fifth here, Omari Bryant, back up on the mound. Guy Gillespie, back up at the top of the order, here for the Archers, sees a ball. Another ball, 2-0. And it's a fly ball to center field, heading in the direction of the Yilmaz, who can't get it in time, and Gillespie doubles. Leilani Graham next up to bat. Swings at a fastball right down the middle here. Then hits a fly ball to center field. This one's a little lower. Let's see if the Yilmaz. Nope, can't. Can field this one. That one is out of the park. Two-run homer there from Leilani Graham, bringing the Archers up by two. Enrique Biswas. It's a foul ball off of a low pitch. Then sits on a higher pitch, which is a ball. Another ball here, bringing the count to 2-1. Foul ball, 2-2. One last ball to fill up the count. And on a fourth ball, Enrique Biswas is awarded first base. Daniel Hofer next up to bat. Swings at a strike, then hits one over the foul line. It's a line drive to center field. And singles. The Yilmaz is having some trouble catching these balls as Enrique Biswas advances to third. Runners on the corners with no outs here, at the top of the fifth, as Kim Atkins hits a fly ball to center field. It is not what we love to see here, as Kim Atkins flies out, finally getting an out here in this half inning, but not before Enrique Biswas is able to make it home. Tree Frogs trailing by 3 here now, as Veronica Amos steps up to the plate, hits a couple of balls foul. Ball 1-2. Ball 2-2. Another foul ball for oh yeah, no, there were two foul balls at this plate appearance. 2-2 is still the count. Ball 3-2. A lot of full counts this game. And another walk issued by Omari Bryant, bringing Daniel Hofer to second base. Ruby Kamara next up to bat. Hits one foul. The faithful are shouting at the top of their lungs as Ruby Kamara hits a line drive to left field and singles, filling up the bases as both runners already on the base path advance. Foul ball here from Clyde Farthington to start off the plate appearance, followed by a strike swinging. And strikes out looking. Strikeout. Tony Hoover next up to bat. Um, Strike looking, then a ball for 1-1 count. Another strike looking for 1-2. See if the Frogs can get out of this pickle here. Foul ball, 1-2 still. It's a ground ball to the pitcher. Maybe Omari's fielding will be a little bit better than the batting, and it is. Tony Hoover grounds out. stranding all three runners and ending the top of the fifth. Uh, I would like to thank the Colorado Rockies sort of bowling alley swag graphics for inspiring my graphics, and also the fact that there's an animated frog emoji. Alien Danvers looks at a ball, then swings at another ball that gets a strike swinging here in the bottom of the fifth, then hits a fly ball to center field with a 1-1 count. And homers, which I also have a button for. Yay! Uh, Andrew Mueller. Next up to bat, here 5-3. The Tree Frogs trailing at the bottom of the fifth. Looks at and then fouls off the first two pitches to bring the count to 0-2 and strikes out swinging. Onus Tyler next up to bat here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Looks at a ball, swings at another slider in a similar spot. Bill DiMaggio throwing a lot of low balls here to Onus Tyler. And there's another one, bringing the count to 3-1. A foul ball will fill up the count. Excuse me, I have some hiccups. And Onus Tyler strikes out swinging. George Maeda, next up to bat, looks at a ball and then fouls one off before hitting a line drive to left field and doubles. Will be followed up in the St. Louis Archers manager is making a mound visit here. And will take starting pitcher Bill DiMaggio out of the game. Biffle Shapiro here, uh, taking their place. Let me update my graphic because I can do that. Our pan gets a strike swinging and then hits a ball foul here. These are fastballs, changing up the pitch type that we are seeing with this new pitcher, and our pan strikes out swinging. That will bring us up to the top of the sixth inning, as that was the third out for the Tree Frogs. Omari Bryant will also be leaving the game. Lollipop Magomedov taking the mound for the Tree Frogs. I should organize this a little bit better. Updated the graphic as Gaia Gillespie gets the count to 1-2 with a couple of foul balls, then strikes out looking. Leilani Graham next up to bat. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch also a ball. Magomedov seems to be the first pitcher in this game with multiple pitch types. Foul ball here from Leilani Graham. And a third ball. Foul ball fills up the count. Another foul ball. Leilani's having a fun time. Doesn't wanna get off of the get out of the batting box. But will have to as they are awarded first on a walk. Enrique Biswas next up to bat. Over 2 on the night. Gets a strike looking. Strike swinging. This one low. and outside of the strike zone. Foul ball keeps the count at 0-2, and strikes out swinging for another strikeout. Daniel Hofer is now up to bat for the Archers. Swings at a slider that's inside the zone, but can't get contact with it. Lollipop Magomedov throws a sinker right in the middle of the zone, but Daniel Hofer looks at that one too. Looks at a ball as well to bring the count to 1-2. Then gets a little piece of another pitch, goes foul. Daniel Hofer strikes out swinging. Ending the top of the sixth. As we transition down to the bottom of the sixth, here's another word from today's sponsor. This frog I saw this frog in May, I think, and did not put it on my naturalist, so I don't know what kind of frog it is. The Yilmaz, first up to bat here in this half inning for the Tree Frogs, sees a couple of balls, sees a third ball. And we'll take a swing at the first pitch that's inside the zone, but it goes foul. Fourth ball, the Yilmaz walks. Happy to take things slow and get on base here. Mateo Che, next up to bat for the Frogs. It's a strike looking. Strike swinging as the Yilmaz steals second base. Fans are quite happy to see that. Foul ball here from Mateo Che, keeping the count at 0-2. And then a ball for 1-2 count. And Mateo Che strikes out looking, bringing up Richard Klein to the batter's box. I almost said batter's mound, but that's not what it is. Maybe in this stadium it is. Weird stadium. Who knows? Who's to say? Foul ball and then a ball here to Richard Klein, followed by a strike looking. Another ball as the home fans are stomping their feet. Another ball to fill up the count here for Richard Klein, who will hit a line drive to left field. Clyde Farthington's able to get under it, and Klein will line out. Two outs here in the bottom of the sixth as Noodlehead Page steps up to the plate. 1 for 3 on the night, and looks at a strike here on this first pitch. Next one is a ball, bringing the count to 1-1. Another ball brings it to 2-1. Third ball makes it 3-1 with Noodlehead Page ahead in the count. And a fourth ball. Noodlehead Page walks. That'll be who is on base right now? The Yilmaz advances to second. Oh, actually, that's not true. The Yilmaz was already on second. Aileen Danvers will hit a pop up to second base and pop out, stranding the Yilmaz and Noodlehead Page, though. Bringing us to the top of the seventh. Relief pitcher Lollipop Magomedov, currently pitching for the Tree Frogs. Kim Atkins is the first up to bat. Sees a foul ball. Another foul ball. Chasing a high pitch on that one. But stays back for a sinker that brings the count to 1-2. Another low pitch brings the count to 2-2. And this one, overcorrecting a little bit on Magomedov's part, fills up the count. Kim Atkins strikes out swinging, though. Veronica Amos next up to bat. hits one foul, and swings at a changeup, getting a strike. Another ball here, or the first ball of this plate appearance, I should say. And Veronica Amos strikes out swinging. That's two in a row here for our pitcher Lollipop. Ruby Comrie next up to bat. We'll see if this can be a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lollipop, giving the Tree Frogs a much needed chance to do some more scoring. First pitch will be a strike swinging, and the second will be a foul ball here towards Ruby. Another foul ball keeps the plate appearance alive. And Ruby Kamara hits a fly ball to center field. The Yilmaz trying to get under it, but gets a throwing error, and Ruby Kamara is able to reach first base. Clyde Farthington steps up to bat, strikes at a curveball, and sits on a ball. Another ball here. Foul ball brings the count to 2-2. And hits a ground ball to the pitcher, which we've got another error here, bringing Clyde Farthington to first base and Ruby Kamara to second base. The Tree Frog manager is not too happy to see two errors in two plate appearances, but Lollipop and Gabadov will remain in the game. Tony Hoover next up to bat. It's a strike swinging for 0-1. Then a ball. Another strike swinging for 1-2. And strikes out looking. Lollipop's able to end the top of the seventh with that. Start at the bottom of the seventh. I believe this is when the seventh inning stretch would be, but MMOLB doesn't pause for that sort of thing. Feel free to sort of stretch on your own time if you like, though. Andrew Mueller hits a strike, or doesn't hit, looks at a ball that's in the corner, and then hits a ground ball on the second pitch. Hits a single, bringing up Onus Tyler here, who immediately hits a fly ball to center field on a fastball that's a bit outside, but will fly out to center fielder Kim Atkins. Jordan Maeda up on deck, though, is 2 for 2 this evening and is a fan favorite. He has a ground ball to third base here on this first pitch. And grounds into a double play, bringing an end to the bottom of the seventh. Start at the top of the eighth here. St. Louis Archers still sitting 2 runs ahead with Gaia Gillespie, top of the order, potentially, hopefully, Gillespie's final plate appearance of this game. Hits a line drive to right field and will double. The Tree Frogs defense this evening is, I would say, leaving something to be desired. Leilani Graham next up to bat. A ball thrown from Lollipop. You can really feel the stands vibrating here in the stadium. Graham gets a strike swinging, 1-1. Ball brings the count to 2-2. There's a little fly here in my radio box. Foul ball 2-2 here, and Leilani Graham strikes out swinging. I tell you, I could use one of these frogs to come eat it. Enrique Biswas next up to the plate, looks at a strike, then a ball. Another ball here from Lollipop as the fans are making quite a lot of noise. A strike looking brings the count to 2-2. And Enrique Biswas strikes out looking, bringing us to 2 outs here in the top of the eighth with one runner on second. Daniel Hofer next up to bat. Hits a pop up to the shortstop. And pops out. Tree Frog's able to get out at the top of the eighth without any additional scoring from the Archers. Biffle Shapiro batting for the Archers. As Arpan is first up to the plate, hits a line drive to left field on this first pitch, but will line out to Clyde Farthington. Biffle Shapiro from St. Louis, so I am guessing probably not a call-up. The Yilmaz looks at a couple of balls, but staying disciplined, but not on the third pitch, will swing and get a strike. Third ball here for the Yilmaz. And another strike swinging on a low pitch to fill up the count. Next pitch is a ball, though, and the Yilmaz is able to get on base, bringing up Mateo Che. Che has not been having the greatest evening, over 2, and I don't 100% remember which of those things don't count, but one of those plate appearances was grounding into a double play. Foul ball, strike, and a ball on the first 3 pitches here for Che, bringing the count to 1-2. Another ball, make it 2-2. Third ball for 3-2 to fill up the count. And Mateo Che hits a ground ball to left field. And will be able to double as the Yilmaz advances to third base, putting runners in scoring position and prompting the St. Louis Archers manager to make a mound visit. But Biffle Shapiro will remain in the game. That is, what is that, the second time that's happened? Nope, the other one was for Lollipop Magomedov that I was thinking of. 2 balls here to Richard Klein. Crowd is pumped, hoping to load the bases. Another ball after a pitch that was hit foul. And another strike swing brings the count up to full. Another foul ball keeps the count at 3-2. Another foul ball, once again keeping the count the same. Richard Klein hits a fly ball to left field. Let's see where this is going, but unfortunately will fly into a double play. The Yilmaz tagged out at third. And at the bottom of the eighth here, the Frogs have potentially just one more chance to tie things up or get ahead here in the bottom of the ninth. But first, they've got to get through another 3 outs. Kim Atkins gets a strike looking, and then a ball. Another pitch right down the center. It's hit foul. Another ball for 2-2 count. Another ball to fill up the count. I feel like there have been a lot of full counts this game. I'm not sure if that's particularly more than usual, as Kim Atkins hits a line drive over to second base, and Noodlehead Page is able to make the out. But I don't know, I feel like I've said full count a lot. Veronica Amos next up to bat, sees a ball, then swings at another low pitch. Another ball brings the count to 2-1. And a third ball brings the count to 3-1. Lollipop can't be letting people get on base. They didn't hear me. As Veronica Amos walks on five pitches. I know how to count. That's one of the things they teach me in Frog Radio School. Ruby Camera hits a line drive to center field on the first pitch and will single with Veronica Amos advancing to third. Uh, One out and runners on the corners here as the Atlanta Tree Frogs manager is going to make a pitching change, bringing in Eden Bone to replace Lollipop Muhammadov here in the top of the ninth. Clive Farthington next up to bat. It's a fly ball to right field on the very first pit. Nope, not. Homer's on a fly ball to right field. That'll be three more runs for the Archers. They're having a good night, more so than the Frogs. Tony Hoover next up. A couple of balls thrown to them. Third ball. And Tony Hoover walks in 4 pitches. Eden Bone not making a fantastic showing here in these first couple of plate appearances as pitcher. Gaia Gillespie is going to be the next batter here for the Archers. It will get a strike swinging and hit a fly ball to left field. Maybe I should talk about double plays more, and maybe more of them will happen since that happened last time I was talking about one, but not on this particular fly ball. Runners on the corners now for the Archers as Leilani Graham hits a fly ball to right field. Maybe this one will be a double play. Nope, it's another 3-run homer. Cool. Still just one out here in the top of the ninth, with the Tree Frogs now at an 8-run deficit, which is, pretty difficult to overcome. Foul ball, a strike looking, and then a ball thrown to Enrique Biswas, bringing the count to 1-2. Another foul ball will keep the count the same. And Biswas hits a pop up to third base, which will be a much needed second out for this half inning. Daniel Hofer next up to the plate. 1 for 5 on the evening, and Tree Frogs fans certainly hoping that this will be the last batter that we have to face. A couple of foul balls will bring the count to 0-2, and Daniel Hofer strikes out swinging. It's the end of the top of the ninth here, and the Tree Frogs have 3 outs to try and get at least 8 runs. Biffle Shapiro still on the mound for the Archers, as Noodlehead Page is first up. We'll hit a ground ball to the shortstop from a pitch that's right down the middle of the strike zone and will ground out. Aileen Danvers next up to bat. Sees a ball. And then another. Strike looking, 2-1. Perhaps expecting another pitch outside, and Aileen Danvers will strike out looking, bringing us to 2 outs. Andrew Moeller is the next up to bat. Things are not looking great for the Tree Frogs here in this game, but Andrew Moeller gets a strike and then a ball. Foul ball brings the count to 1-2, and Andrew Mueller strikes out swinging, and that will be a ball game. Which one is my button for when we lose? Here's my button for when we lose. I was thinking of trying to make one that was a sad frog and didn't have time to do that today, but perhaps for a future broadcast. The first game in this series, is it a best out of three? I think it is, but let me look at the website to make sure. Yeah, I think that's how this one works. First game of the series will go to the Archers. Um, but Tree Frog's not eliminated yet. Perhaps there will be another chance tomorrow night. But since I believe that uh, we'll be in real lifetime, like in a while, that will be the end of my particular broadcast this evening. Um, 'Cause I need to go to sleep and go do other things in the morning. But perhaps if I get my real life chores done, there will be more of these that I can do. And if not this postseason, hopefully in future ones, especially if they're on weekends. But thank you all for tuning in. Uh, I will. I forgot that theme doesn't actually have an audio input. So we'll stay here, as I say. Yeah, thanks for watching. I will probably do more of these when I am available and the frogs do well enough. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna turn this off so that we can see one more word from Today's sponsor, this frog I saw at a pond. Um, but that will be it for me. And hopefully the frogs will be good when I'm not watching them. Good night, everybody.